Hey, greetings, Jerry with Let It Be RV. And this videotape is a little bit a lesson for all of us Toyota owners, is that, you know, these rigs are about 35 plus years old and they're going to break down. So one of the things that you need to do is to be prepared with a little slush fund, because it's going to cost you some money. Lesson learned for me is that I had a problem the first time and I took it to Toyota, and Toyota just absolutely they fixed the problem, but it was real expensive. So I decided to come to Central Texas and find some good old boys that knew how to work on the big rigs, not just these new Toyota rigs. And so I want to introduce you to Jeremy. Raise your hand, Jeremy. That's Jeremy. Jeremy's the dad. And Jeremy 2, what we call him Bud, I call him Youngblood. And so we have had, I basically have been in this yard, this mechanic's yard now, for how long?
About a month and a week or two.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7 weeks. I've been
7 weeks.
and I've been living in my rig, and that's one of the disadvantages that we have by being Toyota owners. If we have to go to a mechanic, we have to live there. So they've been gracious enough to let me live there. So all said and done, so we're going to walk to the engine now, and Youngblood's going to tell us what we did, right, Dad?
Yeah.
What'd we do there?
The first time we
First time, wait a minute, we had 1 time and 2 times.
yeah, so the first time we figured he was running on 3 cylinders, so it was bad head, the bad valve on his head.
Tell us about what you found when you said the 3 cylinders. We did a compression
We
test,
did a compression test and it failed on 3 of the 6 cylinders.
and he put a little camera.
We ran a bore camera in 1 cylinder and you had a hole in the exhaust valve.
So we said, need a valve job. Well,
Yep.
that's where we were, okay. So, from my standpoint, I needed to see if my heads were good once we pulled the heads off. And we found that, go ahead.
We sent the heads off to our machinist over in Stephenville. He took a look at them. He didn't feel right reseating them or revalving it or anything, or working on them, because they were no good. So he told us, you know, our best bet would be to order some new ones.
Which I did. It took me an all day to find some heads. And when they came, they looked like they came right out of a junkyard.
Yep.
And we weren't sure if they were any good. So, okay, the second time, go ahead, young boy.
So we sent him off. He did his thing, and we got him back in. Well, we just happened to have a misfortunate head gasket.
We're on number 1. So you put it all back together.
Yeah, we got it all back together.
And I said goodbye. I paid the bill. I prayed for him. And I took off, and I made it 5 miles down the road, and it was all I could do to kind of hobble back into, I just pulled into my old spot. And now we had to go ahead and
we had to take off
figure out. Wait a minute. We did a pressure
Compression
test.
We did
Again.
another compression test.
No, we did a pressure test.
Compression test. We did
Compression test and then we did a leak down test.
And a
then we
leak
did
down.
a leak down test.
Leak down test, and a leak down test for what reason? To try to identify the problem.
See why you were getting compression in your water.
Yeah. And we figured out that it was the passenger side.
3rd cylinder.
Yeah, 3rd cylinder.
That gas was no good.
Yeah.
So he was getting water into his valve, or in his cylinder.
So we determined that Youngblood wasn't too happy about having to tear it down again.
No, I wasn't.
And he had to go and take the passenger side head off. And my prayers were the fact that, Lord, it's either going to be one of 3 things: the head, the gasket, or the block. We pretty much determined that it wasn't the block. And so I prayed that night. I said, Lord, make it something obvious and simple to fix. So when we pulled the head off, sure enough, what did we find there?
A bad gasket.
Bad gasket that came from O'Reilly's. And so, yeah, we got the good gasket on. You must have known already that it was going to be a bad gasket because you ordered one ahead, right? Yeah, you knew. Yeah. So this is father and son, and father was basically raised at his father's need to become a mechanic, and the same thing has happened with Youngblood here. So you put it all back together. Go ahead and tell us.
I got it back together. We messed with the timing a little bit and got her purring like a dream now.
It's purring.
Yeah, she's running good.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is he's going to follow me 10 miles down the road. And we're going to this is kind of a test. I don't anticipate any problem. So we've been, Youngblood's been agonizing over every bolt, okay? And so, yeah, I'm just really proud to meet these two guys. And I want to recommend these guys if you're ever Toyota owners, if you're ever in the area and you need some good mechanics, and you can actually live on the yard, which is important. Give us a halfway direction off of Highway 20.
We're on Deep Springs Highway.
Huh?
We're on Deep Springs.
Find Deleon.
Yeah, find Deleon, you'll find us.
Deleon, Texas, which is off of Highway 20. Everybody knows Highway 20, between Abilene and Fort Worth, and head south on Highway 6 to Deleon, Texas. And it's, what's the name of the company?
JD and Sons, anything automotive.
JD and Sons, anything automotive. You got a telephone number? Do you know his number?
I don't. But I can get it.
Okay, get his telephone number here real quick. I'm running on 6 minutes, so anyway, you can see, say hi. There's the other mechanic. You can see where I've been literally sitting for 7 or 8 minutes.
254
254
979
979
0862.
08
0862.
0862. Hey, Youngblood, anything automotive. Youngblood, I'm really happy to meet you.
Yeah, I'm sad to see you go.
Connects. Yeah, he's sad to see me go. And so we're going to make connects on Facebook. So I'll keep in touch with you. So please subscribe to the site and please take this as a lesson learned. Is that please have that slush fun because you're going to have problems.
We're willing to work on them. I'm pretty much a pro now.
He's a pro.
Yeah.
He's a Toyota pro.
Yeah,
Okay.
Toyota pro to be exact.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye and be safe.